The decrease in the catchment facilities has now prompted NWC President Mark Barnett to declare that if there is no increase in rainfall before the end of this month, there will be increased water restrictions. Speaking Wednesday night on TVJ's All Angles, Mr. Barnett said the outlook is dismal.
We are now in the month of May, that hopefully in the latter weeks, and we are going in the last 2 weeks of the month, we would see some rainfall heading into June, which would be our second rainy period. And that is what we're hoping for. If that is not the case, then the situation is going to likely get worse.
How much worse?
It could get worse where we have to restrict water, not based on hours as it is, and I'll hasten to say it is not even as effective as it should be based on the limitations within the distribution system. It could get where we would be supplying water as we had done in about 2013, 2014, where we do alternate days per se. It could get to that stage.
Mr. Barnett had more bad news regarding the water shortage.
Are we at crisis level now?
We're at crisis level, and I would like to contextualize it because once you're not able to supply water on a 24-hour basis and a section of your population, as we know it, is having longer periods without having water either through the mains or trucked, you're in a crisis situation. And so we understand that, that position. What we believe is the situation, it would get even worse in terms of a no rainfall for the rest of the month. So the crisis could get worse.
Last week, the Barbados-based Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology warned that worsening drought conditions could impact agriculture groundwater, large reservoirs and rivers in Jamaica, as well as other Caribbean countries. The Institute urged Caribbean countries to closely monitor water resources and try to conserve as much as possible, at least until July. It said a weak El Niño is expected to contribute to reduced rainfall, and as the NWC looks to options to alleviate the water crisis in the corporate area, it says it would not be feasible at this time to desilt the Hermitage Dam. Mr. Barnett says the level of siltation at the facility has reached 28%.
And you're saying if you take out all of that,
it
only gives us an additional 10 days?
10 days at full production at Constant Spring. Constant Spring is producing 18 million gallons of water per day. Multiply that by 10 is 180 million gallons. The dam is just 400, in its full 400 million gallons. So you can understand the numbers indicate simply the amount of money that you're going to spend for the extra few days. It's better to look at a facility that could give you a continuous production volume at even at a higher cost. And therefore, that's why we look towards the Ryakobri as being a regularly flowing river.
In the meantime, Mr. Barnett confirmed that the National Water Commission has lost millions of gallons of water due to the multiple roadwork projects taking place in the corporate area. Mr. Barnett says NWC has started the process to seek compensation for this loss. Sasha Lee Hamilton, Frontline News.